My name is Sandeen, and I'm a transgender American. Here's the bare bones facts. The Compton's Cafeteria Riot, or Compton's Cafeteria, was located at Turk and Taylor in San Francisco's Tenderloin district. And on a hot August night in 1966, police came to the restaurant because the restaurant management called them. The management at Compton's Cafeteria called the police to deal with the crowds of youth who hang out at the cafeteria, who were mostly gay and transgender, but didn't spend a lot of money when they were there. When the police officer grabbed the arm of a person described as a queen, she threw a cup of coffee in the officer's face. And a melee, a riot ensued when they tried to arrest her and others in the Compton's Cafeteria. The queens beat the police with their heavy purses and kicked they kicked the police with their high-heeled shoes. And the windows of Compton's Cafeteria were broken. A police car was vandalized, and a newsstand that was nearby was burned to the ground. At best estimate, the riot involved about 50 or 60 patrons that were at Compton's Cafeteria. There's so much more to that story than that. The uprising described in 1966 San Francisco, well, at that time it was unlawful to cross-dress. And that meant if you were a drag performer, a transsexual, or even an effeminate gay youth, you were likely to be pulled in on the street for impersonating a woman by the police. You were also likely to be ticketed and taken into custody for obstructing the sidewalk, in other words, being a nuisance. And they were confined to the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, specifically because gay and transgender people did not have protections under the law. At that point, it was actually illegal, pretty much, to be gay or lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or queer, and they were treated as such, arrested all the time and harassed by police. And that's because of Glide Memorial United Methodist Church in San Francisco's Tenderloin district. They supported the rights of those queens. Glide Memorial had been transformed by the National Methodist leadership and Reverend Cecil Williams into a model of liberal urban Christian ministry, the kind of ministry that inspired Martin Luther King Jr. So we're tied to the civil rights movement of the 60s, despite what anyone else may say. One of their social initiatives was the establishment of the Council of Religion and the Homosexual. That social initiative was the very first in the nation ecumenical organization to bring the issues of anti-gay harassment and discrimination to the attention of liberal Protestant churches. To quote historian Susan Stryker, activist ministers at Glide worked with leaders of the early homophile or gay rights organizations to shift the focus of religious concern away from condemning the supposed sin of homosexuality towards administering to the daily needs of people who suffered through the loss of family, friends, work, or sense of emotional well-being. A police raid on a 1965 drag masquerade ball as a fundraiser for the Council of Religion and the Homosexual is widely credited with putting gay rights on the agenda of straight civil rights activists. Glide Memorial also played an important role in transgender history. Activist ministers there helped organize the Vanguard in 1966, an organization for gay and transgender street kids who lived in the Tenderloin. Conversion Our Goal, the first transgender peer support group in the United States, held its first meeting at Glide starting in 1967 and published a newsletter there. And Vanguard is the earliest known queer organization in the entire country. In fact, one of their lines on one of their opening flyers was, "You've heard about black power and white power," before telling its readers to get ready for street power. They were a militant organization. They were increasingly defining the space of Compton's Cafeteria as their own, and these disenfranchised gay and transgender youth, who were mostly street hustlers, used to hold meetings at Compton's Cafeteria. Well, the management of Compton's Cafeteria didn't like them acting a little bit uppity. So they asserted their property rights and business interests and began calling police to roust the members of Vanguard from their restaurant.